Everyone, welcome to OverDrive's session today. But before we get started, I would like everyone to take a quick minute to, I don't know if you can click on this hyperlink on my screen or not, but if you can, that'd be great. Just take a minute to go ahead and click on that and just fill out a survey. And at the end, one lucky attendee is going to win a t-shirt, a SOAR t-shirt at the end of our session. And Gustavo, could you let me know if you were able to click on that link and follow that link?
Hear that the link worked. And, I tried typing it into the chat, and I don't think I got that right either, because it's 3Q. Maybe that's not a Q. Maybe it's a G.
It is a G. If you could, that'd be great. If you could type that in there. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and get started here. As you're complete the survey, you have some time at the end too as well. But so that we have, I think we have about an hour session here to go over things. And I want to open up the end at the end here after my presentation so that we have time to answer some, have a Q&A, so questions and answers. So let's get going. All right, so digital content. Right. It's not just for global pandemics. You know, when many schools had to shut down in-person classes in the spring of last year, so about a year ago, students and teachers increasingly turned to ebooks and audiobooks to continue learning remotely. But since then, what we found is using digital has continued to—
Hold on a second. Someone is saying that they think you're muted. Let me see if maybe I have some settings wrong.
Okay.
No, you are definitely unmuted. I don't see any way to mute you. Brian asking the question in the chat, it might, like, you are able to mute individual people. So if you click the little 3 dots, you might be able to unmute Todd. I hope that worked.
Okay, let me see here.
Yeah, sorry, Todd, and you should be able to keep going.
Oh, you're talking to that person. Okay, all right, excellent, excellent. So like I was saying, so when many schools had to shut down in-person learning last spring, students and teachers increasingly found that they increasingly turned to ebooks and audiobooks to continue learning remotely. And since then, digital has continued to gain momentum as a resource that's easily accessible regardless of where classes are taking place. So I'm Todd Strickland. With OverDrive, I'm an account executive for the EDU. I promote SOAR, the K-12 reading app. So today in our agenda, we're going to go over SOAR for your library. We're going to talk about SOAR for your curriculum and funding, which is obviously very, very important to help as a source to help fund your e-library or SOAR for your curriculum. So let's talk about the importance of digital. So access anytime, right? You're leveling that playing field. You're increasing that equity, right? So you're access anywhere, anytime, and on any device. So Sora works on any web browser, as well as any Apple or Android device as well. So we're also looking to build lifelong skills as well. So you're looking at the deep, sustained reading, that digital reading, right? We all know that reading anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes per day helps to increase test scores. Vocabulary development and note-taking skills as well. And I'll dive into that a little bit more when I start to do a quick little demo, which I'll do in a few minutes. We're also supporting all learners from EL to struggling readers to dyslexic readers. So how can this help? So one, you can ensure all students have access to books, regardless of where they are. So at home, at the park, at night, as they're reading in bed, supporting ELA novels as well. So that and choice reads as well as reduce novel replacement costs. So no more worrying about lost books. You always have a fresh copy available right through Sora. And you also can provide your staff with high quality PD content as well as whole school reads. So a lot of schools will put together whole school reads or a book of the month or book of the week, and I'll show you how Sora will help promote that across your district, as well as different there's differentiators for students. So you have your audiobooks, your graphic novels, and much more. And then number 7 here, we're looking at content in languages other than their own. So what is Sora? The best way to describe it is Sora is the best way for students to access your school's digital collection anywhere, anytime, through any device. So planning for digital, what we like to do here is take a deep dive with each school or district and find out what their goals are. Are they looking to build more of a e-library, or are they looking to fold digital into their curriculum? So either choice reading from the pleasure reading side, or instructional, or also using it for personal professional development itself. So we'll take a deep dive into that and help to put together an individualized plan for each school or district that we work with. So now I'm going to take a quick moment to do a live demonstration. I want to show you the user interface and how easy it is to check out a book and start to read, take notes, export notes, and more. So bear with me when I stop sharing this and have to share my Sora reading app. Okay. Okay, Gustavo, can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yep, looks good.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so like I was stating, with Sora, you can access Sora from anywhere, anytime, either via web browser, which I'm doing today for this demonstration, or app. You can find the app at the iOS store or the Google Play Store. Any activity that you do on one device is automatically synced across all devices. So if you do something on your Chromebook at school, and you go and you pick up your iPad at home and you log into your account, whatever your progression is on your device at school is automatically synced up. So it's going to take you, whatever books you've checked out or books you have hold, everything is synced across all devices. Sora also is integrated with the majority of the most popular LMS systems out there. So it's a nice integrated experience. Schoology, Google Classrooms, integrates with the majority of the main LMS systems that are out there. So right now I'm going to go ahead and take you to how simple and easy it is to actually start to read. So I'll start you here with on the binoculars, where we are in the Explore tab. And under the Explore, you'll see any promoted collections. We happen to have, every summer, we do promote a collection. This year's called Sora Sweet Reads. This is also a free collection to anyone who's a partner with us. One note to add to it I didn't talk about is Sora actually is a subscription-free platform. So there's never a subscription there's no subscription at all for the platform itself. So I'm going to go show you how easy it is to actually find a book. You can set your preferences, different preferences to help streamline that search. From available books here, you can see that I can look for every book that's available, or any book that we have in our collection, regardless of if it's available or I need to place a hold, or I can streamline it and just say, hey, I want to just look for books that I can read right now that are available. You also are able to sort by relevancies, for instance, popularity within the school. You also did have the capability of searching just by the different languages that the content is available in. And then you set your different audience levels too as well, from juvenile, YA, and GA. And also, it is also compatible with Kindle and Media Do. So let's take a look. Let's go ahead and take a look and dive into books. So I go here and click into the search bar and see I have searched my previous searches, but we'll go ahead and just pull up a Judy Blume book. So once you key in a name or title, it'll give you your different selections to choose from. As you can see here, you'll see the earphones that lets you know that it's an audio book. You can simply click on Open Audio, and it'll download that book for you. And I'll go ahead and open up a title that I already have borrowed. This is Judy Blume's Super Fudge. So click Open Up, and takes you right into it. One of the neat features about Sora is it gives the reader the ability to customize their own experience. For instance, you see here, I have 2 pages that I see, but if I want to switch it to a single page, which I prefer when I do my reading on my phone or on our e-reader, to me, it just streamlines it a little bit better, but that's just my own preference. You also have the capability to change in regards to customize the appearance. So you can increase the scale or decrease the scale. Also supporting that high contrast for night reading as well. And then you also have the ability to turn on the open dyslexic fonts, weighted from left to right, top to bottom. Okay. Another great feature that Sora supports is defining words. I'm just going to choose a silly word here, but if you take your cursor, hover it over the word or the words you're looking for, and just hold down your left, let's find a good word. Your left button there, your left mouse button. Let's just do this right here. And it highlights the word. Once you release, you can choose to highlight it or define the word. And it lets you know what the definition of the word is. Okay, all the different definitions. You can also translate that word into your preferred language. So for instance, if you want to change it to Spanish, you can do that, or different languages as well. Okay. You are able to also bookmark. As you can see here, I have some bookmarks already placed within the book. The good thing about the bookmarks are the bookmarks and defined words, as well as any paragraphs that you may highlight. And I'm going to show you highlighting a paragraph, is that it's actually saved. Even if you take and have turned in the book, or the book has become due and is turned in. So I can highlight it, different color codes, identify different characters. So you can do yellow, pink, or green, put a note in there about it, and save. All your notes and defined words are exportable too. So again, even if you turn in the book, and it stays with that particular student throughout their time with your school. Okay. You also can zoom in as well. And then you can see down here all the notations that I've taken, defined words, and bookmarks. Okay. So it's pretty simple and straightforward to actually get in there and start to read. So next, let's go ahead and take you over to our Home tab. Within the Home tabs, you'll see any kind of class assignments. And this is a great feature, especially for those book clubs or folding Sora into the classroom. So you can assign titles to that specific student, so you know that they actually have that book, and no more, oh, I didn't take it home, I don't have this book. You know it's been assigned to them. And the great thing is that Sora will actually also capture data for that student, how long they've been in there, how long they opened up the book, how long they've averaged each time they've opened up the book, and it's timestamped. So there's a lot of data and information that helps the educator monitor the actual reading. So you can see here we have a currently with our organization here at OverDrive, which is our team, we have an assigned book for us. It's an audiobook that we're listening to as a team. You'll also, as you scroll down here in the home tab, you see all the books on loan. So you see here, I have a couple of ebooks and one audiobook. If I want to open them up, it's simply just double click on those jacket covers. And then any recently defined words are going to show up here, but you can see all the defined words that I've defined since I've had this demo account. And then you also have the capability to export that in all the popular formats from PDF. And the good thing is too, it also can be imported into Google Drive. And then at the bottom here in the homepage, you'll see that these are books you might like. And this is just based off an algorithm of different searches that you've done and books that you've checked out or books of interest. Okay. So next, let's take a look at our shelf. On your shelf, it will hold all the books you have on loan, all the books that are on hold, your titles list too as well. So this is a real neat feature that I like. Is, typically when I go and search for something to read for pleasure, I'll come across other digital content. And I'm able to give it a thumbs up and say, hey, I'm going to go back and read those titles in the future. So it's easy to do that. And you simply tap on the jacket cover and you can borrow that book or read it. Okay. And then under history, this is just a log of all the content that you've checked out and read. So pretty straightforward, really easy to navigate. And then on the Me tab, everything that lives under the Me tab is all the data. So what I mean by the data, and I mentioned a minute ago, this is going to collect, some of the important data. So how many books I have open, right? The average time, again, this is a demo account, so that's just 5 minutes. But as I read along, the average time spent per book, and then the time, total time read, current streak, and so forth. And down here, you can earn achievement badges for the amount of content that you're actually reading and checking out. So it helps you to set goals for students to achieve. You have a lot of students have achieved all 30 of these badges, and we're trying to come up with a few more right now to obtain. Over here under the menu, you're able to add additional libraries in addition to the Public Library Connect, which I'm going to talk to in a minute, which if a student has a library card for additional libraries outside of the normal district that they actually live in, we can connect that to as well. Really simple. Click on the Add Library, type in the name, city, or zip code, and there's a couple more steps that you do from there. Okay. And then you're also able to set some sticky settings up. So what I mean by sticky settings is you're able to turn the whole app so that it's either it's in dyslexic font, and then the high contrast mode as well. Okay, so that's SOAR in a nutshell, just a high level view. So let me go ahead and take you back to my presentation and my slide deck. So give me a minute to bring that up. I have to bear with me when I get to the right slide here. All right, so just to recap on some of the features that I browsed over. So SOAR features here, the multilingual interface, right? As well as easy to browse and borrow. And then the in-app definitions. as well as customizable reading settings, title assignment capabilities, offline access, so you can read anywhere, anytime, and your exportable notes. Again, once you take those notes and make those highlights, regardless of when you need them, you can export those, turn them in as a part of an assignment, or use them for a book report. And then the public library digital collection access. And the way that works is we have a partnership with your local public library, which gives you access to their digital content. So ebooks and audiobooks will be streamlined through Sora as one user interface. So their collection plus your collection all through and streamlined right through Sora. And the great thing is, again, you don't need a library card for the student. There's no registration for the student. They will use their current signing credentials that they're using with the school right now. So I did mention data. So student level data gives a great insight of how a student's really performing in regards to what they're reading, how much they're reading. So here's what's included. So you're gonna have your student user IDs, the date the title was open, as well as the title and when it was last open, number of reading sessions, total time read, as well as a few other options that are available. So it's going to save the data as a timestamp in the PDF you should see here, and share the title in Google Classroom, as well as review the assignment's details. So let's take a look at that a little bit in depth. So here is on-demand class set for a book or ebook, A Long Walk to Water. You can see here, there's 12 students that have checked this and start to read this book. But you can see here in regards to student number 8, the date was first opened on January 12th and turned in, or last open on February 8th. See, the reading sessions is a total of 7 sessions, and for a total of 19 minutes, and it's 100% complete. Now, you know that more than likely that student didn't read that whole entire book in 19 minutes. So it's a good insight on data and performances, and see, well, why didn't they do so well? Well, look here, the insight shows that they weren't really reading the content. So what does access look like, right? So everything's centralized right through Sora, through the school district's collection. And then you have also your individual school building collection, as well as the local public library access. And then the students can add additional public library access if they have a card. But for the Public Library Connect, you do not need, again, a library card. So where does the money come from? So a lot of times it's either from the library, English department, special education, grants, and federal funding, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. So $9 billion. So let's take a step back and think about this: $9 billion and $190 billion. So when the pandemic first happened, you had the CARES Act, and the first part was $9 billion of relief. Now across ESSER 1, 2, and 3, the total comes to $190 billion. Okay, so 20% is used to address unfinished learning. This is the largest one-time federal investment in education. So what is ESF, right? It stands for, as most of you probably already know, it's Education Stabilization Fund. You know, ESF was established to help schools meet the challenges of today's pandemic and create tomorrow's bright future. You can see here from the dates passed when ESSER 1 was in March of last year, ESSER 2 was December of last year, and this year in March was ESSER 3. This is all the amounts for each one, ESSER 1, 2, and 3, for K through 12 allocation. Across the board, when you add it all up, the total K-12 relief comes to $193 billion. It's a lot. So who gets what? Well, the federal government has decided how much each state received for ESSER, and then each state assigns eligible fund amounts for each district. So each state can reserve up to 10% to address emergency needs, and then the district must apply in order to receive the allocated funds for the state. And there's a hyperlink here, if your school district has not done that already, but there's a hyperlink for that and instructions on how to apply. and submit your extended learning plan. It's also available for private schools, nonprofit private schools. So the way it breaks down and who gets what. So the allotments are actually based on the 2019 Title I Part A allocations. And this is just a schematic of how the timing of when the ESSER funds are released and when they're actually must be spent by. So OverDrive, in an effort to help the different districts across the country understand the use and where to and how to get access for this fund to help fund their ebook and audiobook collection, we have a actual website dedicated to that and a free downloadable, we call it Champion Toolkit. And it walks you through all the things you need to do and how to prepare to submit that information to gain access to those funds. So, so when you look at it this way, you say, oh, how can ESF money be used? Well, for purchasing educational technology or summer learning and supplemental after-school programs and addressing learning loss among students. So, I mean, I can read through this all here, but see, it's pretty good understanding just from looking at that. Okay. So, increase summer reading. So, you can use source data to guide intervention strategies, right, for those struggling readers, gain insight about usage and trends. This can help you inform, help you in regards to and give you informed knowledge on what to purchase. So if you have a lot of books that are possibly are ebooks or audiobooks that are on hold, you can say, okay, we need more of that for our circulation or our collection. And you can also see in real time the students and what students are reading, what's popular. In real-time reading data. And it also reports up and out. As I mentioned a little bit ago, we do also have a summer reading program or summer reading collection that we curate the last handful of summers. And I have a feeling that we'll continue to do that because it's very popular. And this is free as well. But the Source Suite Reads started on May 5th and ends on August 20th. This is available for any partner that's actually signed up and has activated their SOAR account. Again, this comes with your Public Library Connect, the SOAR Suite Reads here, which is another collection to help promote reading, trying to get those students to read at least 20 minutes a day all through summer. And then we're also addressing unfinished learning. So we're able to, we'll talk a little bit about title assignments, class sets, and on-demand sets. So with title assignments, you're able to assign titles in your school's digital collection, which you already purchased, to specific students for a period of time, typically 180 days. This is a great way to fold it into curriculum or additional reads for the library. You also have the capability of using the class set lending model. This option is for digital titles, which publishers actually determine which titles are available for class sets, but you can think of it as a rental. Class sets are purchased for a specific set of students for a specific time period. Typically, it's about 3 months. And then we have one of the most popular usage models, which is the on-demand class sets. So this is a more flexible delivery method of class sets. Any class set can be made available as an on-demand class set. Copies of a title are added to your school's collection for a specific time period. These copies can be all checked out at the same time by any student. Unlike traditional class sets, the copies are not assigned to specific students, and you're only charged if the student is actually checks out the actual title. So always accessible digital libraries. That's another way of supporting everything. So you're supporting your curriculum, independent reading, choice reads, and your professional development. Increasing your summer reading. So you can track your title usage when students aren't in school. So over summer, you can see what they're doing, right? It gives you better insight. Do you need to promote it more? Do you need to reach out to that particular student or a group of students and say what's going on, or help them to maybe if they're having some issues with it, you can help them to make sure that they're doing that reading over summer. Also can increase access to curriculum and required reads. So let's take a look at that. So tools, and like I say, tools in the classroom. So some of the tools I did when I was showing you through a walkthrough in the demonstration, exportable notes and highlights, as well as in-app access to definitions in Google Translate, and LOTE titles in over 100 languages for ESL and bilingual students. And then this is obviously a buzzword across the industry right now, but increase equity, right? So available 24/7, regardless of where you are. No time restrictions or, restrictions in regards to being able to get there with a car or bus. And as I mentioned, you can sync titles across devices and download to read offline. So regardless of the device that you start to read a title on or content on or download it, it syncs it in your activity across all devices. And in Sora, just for being a partner with OverDrive, you're also going to have access to what we call our Sora Starter and our no-cost collection. These collections are put together for social and emotional learning, diversity and inclusion, as well as classic literature and titles in other languages. We also support unique formats. Help, with we have a range of audiobooks, read-alongs, and graphic novels. And again, the multilingual interface. So again, this will change the app itself into these different languages. I think there's a total of 13 different supported languages. It says 10 here, but I thought I saw the other day that's around 13. And again, the customized experience for the actual reader. So their experience may be, they may like things different than someone else. So the personalization to make that reading experience comfortable and enjoyable for them. And we've talked a couple different times about the Public Library Connect. You'll have access to your local public libraries, digital content, age appropriate, of course. So those levels are all set so that students aren't gonna, so a first grader's not gonna have general adult content available to them via their Sora app. So let's make a plan, right? So use the government relief funds to support your literacy with Sora. So you make a plan. As I discussed, we talked about going to our ESF website and downloading our Champion Toolkit. You can find out more about your district's allocation and how much funds were actually allocated for them by clicking. Oh, I can show you that. I will send this link out to anyone that wants. And then 2, you can contact myself or the account manager for your area, and we'd be happy to assist. And then we'll handle your implementation and training. We can hold your hand as much as you like. There's no charge for implementation or our training. I do training constantly. We have a team also put together from content specialists who are OverDrive's librarians is the way I look at it. They can help you with questions and building your own collection for your district or your school. We have a dedicated account manager which helps on your day-to-day operations, questions, concerns, how this works, scheduling additional training. And then we have a product specialist that works on the IT side, that's IT specialist, who will help you support any kind of IT concerns that you may have. That's all included. So I have a few minutes for questions.
And everyone, if I hope that I'm coming through all right. The Q&A is to the right of your screen, and there might be a little arrow with the wall against it that you can click to pull that out and show that to you. Let me know if you have any trouble.
Okay. What are the things I would like to add too in regards to signing up for Sora? Again, Sora is a free platform to use to get implemented. You can sign up for a demo account just to see and play with the user interface, or sign up and activate a Sora account. Again, it's no cost. The implementation also is free. We'll get you implemented within a handful of days. And we can have a one-on-one conversation about building your digital collection, or if you're just looking to maybe get started, just kind of kick the tires and take advantage of the free collection. I think there's about right around 290 to 300 free digital content copies available. They're always available, so simultaneous use. It's a collection of ebooks and audiobooks, and then we would fold in your public library access too as well. And then Sora Sweet Reads, the summer reading collection, is available too. I guess I'll give it a few more seconds if we don't have any other questions. Okay. Well, thank you for your time. I'm very happy to answer any questions. Feel free to reach out to me with any kind of questions. And yeah, thank you for your time.